And today, we're tackling the question. You know the one? The question that's been typed into Google approximately 47 million times. The question that keeps entire industries alive. Does masturbation affect penis size? And before we go any further, let me just say, if you clicked on this video, you're not alone. This is one of the most searched questions on the internet, so let's talk about it. No shame, no BS, just science. Okay, let's just rip the band-aid off. Does masturbation make your penis bigger? No. Does masturbation make your penis smaller? Also no. Does it affect size in any way? Nope. There, video over. Thanks for watching. Just kidding, but seriously, that's the answer. Masturbation has zero effect on penis size. None. It doesn't make it grow. It doesn't make it shrink. It doesn't do anything to the size. Your penis size is determined by genetics, hormones during puberty, and basically nothing you do as an adult. But I know what you're thinking. If it's that simple, why is there so much confusion? Why do people think it does something? Great question. Let's talk about where these myths come from. So why do people think masturbation affects size? Myth number 1. Masturbation stunts growth during puberty. This one's old school. The idea was that if you masturbated while you were still growing, it would somehow redirect resources away from development. Which is not how biology works, at all. During puberty, your body is flooded with hormones. Testosterone, growth hormone, all that stuff. These hormones are what determine your final adult size, including penis size. Masturbation doesn't affect hormone levels in any meaningful way. We covered this in the last video. Your body produces what it produces regardless of whether you're using your equipment or not. Myth number 2. If you do it too much, it'll wear out or shrink. Okay, your penis is not a pencil eraser. It doesn't wear down with use. It's made of tissue, specifically erectile tissue, which is designed to expand and contract. That's literally its job. Using it doesn't damage it or make it smaller. In fact, regular erections, whether from masturbation or anything else, are actually good for penile health. It keeps the tissue oxygenated and elastic. Myth number 3. Pumping or stretching during masturbation can make it bigger. This one's tricky because there's a tiny grain of truth buried in a mountain of wishful thinking. Can you temporarily increase blood flow and make things look slightly fuller? Sure, for like 20 minutes. Can you permanently change the size through exercises or techniques? No. We'll get into this more later, but spoiler, the science is not on your side here. Alright, let's talk about how penis size actually works, because understanding this will save you a lot of money and disappointment. Penis size is primarily determined by 3 things: genetics, prenatal hormones, and puberty hormones. Genetics, you basically inherit a range from your parents, not directly from your dad, it's more complicated than that, but your genetic blueprint sets the parameters. Prenatal hormones. Testosterone exposure in the womb affects genital development. This is why conditions that affect hormone levels during pregnancy can affect size. Puberty, this is the big one. During puberty, your body gets flooded with testosterone and other hormones. This is when most growth happens. For most guys, the penis grows significantly between ages 12 and 16 and stops growing around 18 or 19. Some guys finish earlier, some later, but by your early 20s, you're done. And here's the thing. Once you're done, you're done. Adult penis size doesn't change naturally. You can't exercise it bigger, you can't eat it bigger, you can't masturbate it bigger. It's not a muscle, it's erectile tissue. Completely different biology. Now, there are medical conditions that can affect size, hormonal disorders, injuries, certain medications, but those are medical issues that need actual treatment, not internet advice. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Or, more accurately, let's talk about the industry that promises to make your elephant bigger. Penis enhancement products are a multi-billion-dollar industry. Pills, pumps, extenders, exercises, surgeries. There's a whole economy built on male insecurity. So let's break down what actually works and what's complete garbage. Pills and supplements. Do they work? No, not a single one. There is no pill that will make your penis bigger. None. The FDA doesn't approve any oral medication for penis enlargement because none of them work. What these pills usually contain, some combination of herbs, amino acids, and sometimes actual medications like sildenafil, which treats erectile dysfunction but doesn't affect size. At best, they're expensive placebos. At worst, they're dangerous because they're unregulated and might contain contaminated ingredients. Pumps? Do they work? sort of temporarily for a specific purpose. Penis pumps create a vacuum that draws blood into the erectile tissue. This can help with erections. In fact, they're sometimes prescribed for erectile dysfunction. Can they make you bigger? They can create temporary swelling that makes you look larger for maybe 30 minutes. That's it. Long-term use doesn't create permanent growth. It might even cause damage if you overdo it. Burst blood vessels, tissue damage, that kind of thing. Extenders and stretching devices, do they work? This is where it gets complicated. There is some limited evidence, and I mean very limited, that traction devices used for several hours a day for months might add a small amount of length. We're talking maybe half an inch, maybe. But the studies are small. The commitment is insane. We're talking wearing a device for 4 to 6 hours daily for 6 months, and the results are inconsistent. Most urologists don't recommend them because the risk-to-benefit ratio isn't great. You're risking nerve damage and other complications for minimal, if any, gain. Jelqing and exercises, do they work? Almost certainly not, and they're potentially dangerous. Jelqing is this technique where you supposedly force blood through the penis to stretch the tissue. It's been around forever on internet forums. There are no peer-reviewed studies showing it works. None. Zero. What there are reports of injuries, scarring, burst blood vessels, nerve damage, erectile dysfunction. The penis is not a muscle. You can't work it out like your biceps. Surgery. Does it work? Yes, technically, but with major caveats. There are surgical procedures that can add length or girth. They exist. Lengthening surgery involves cutting the suspensory ligament, which can add about half an inch to an inch of visible length. But it doesn't actually make your penis longer. It just changes the angle and exposes more of what was already there. Side effects can include loss of stability during erections, scarring, nerve damage, and loss of sensation. Girth enhancement usually involves fat transfer or dermal fillers. Results are often uneven, temporary, and can cause complications. Most reputable urologists will only perform these surgeries for medical reasons, not cosmetic ones, because the risks often outweigh the benefits. Okay, time for some real talk. If you've watched this far, hoping I'd give you some secret technique that actually works, I'm sorry to disappoint you. The truth is, you can't significantly change your penis size as an adult. Not safely, not reliably, not permanently. And I know that sucks to hear if you're insecure about it. I get it. We live in a world where bigger is supposedly better, where porn has completely warped expectations, where locker room anxiety is real. But here's what you need to understand. First, average size is smaller than you think. Multiple studies across different populations show that average erect length is about 5.1 to 5.5 inches. Average girth is about 4.5 to 5 inches in circumference. If you're in that range, you're literally average. That means half of all men are your size or smaller. But porn, yeah, porn, where they use camera angles, lighting, small-handed actresses, and selectively cast well-endowed men. It's like watching the NBA and thinking you're short because you're not 6'8". Second, size matters way less than you think. I know this sounds like a cope, but hear me out. There have been actual studies on this. When women are surveyed about what matters in sexual satisfaction, penis size consistently ranks behind emotional connection, foreplay, communication, attentiveness, hygiene, confidence, and technique. One study found that only about 14% of women had ever ended a relationship because of penis size. For context, way more relationships end because a guy doesn't listen or refuses to do foreplay. And here's something interesting. In studies where women are asked about their preferences, most prefer average size. The bigger is better thing is largely a male anxiety, not a female preference. Third, most size anxiety is comparison anxiety. You know when you're most aware of your size? When you're comparing yourself to other guys, locker rooms, porn, internet forums where people definitely lie about measurements. You're not competing with other men. You're not trying to impress them. This is all in your head. All right, so if you can't change size, what can you do? Because here's the thing. There are things within your control that actually matter. Number 1, lose weight if you need to. This is the only size increase that's actually real. If you're carrying extra weight in your pubic area, it can hide part of your penis. For every 30-50 pounds of excess weight, you can lose about half an inch to an inch of visible length. It's just buried in fat. Losing that weight doesn't make your penis bigger. It just reveals what was already there. Bonus, Weight loss also improves cardiovascular health, which directly affects erectile function. Better erections make everything feel and work better. Number 2, improve your overall health. Cardiovascular health is directly linked to erectile function. Your erections depend on blood flow. Exercise, eat well, don't smoke, moderate your alcohol intake. All of these improve erectile quality. Better erections mean better experiences regardless of size. Number 3, manage grooming. This is purely visual, but trimming or removing pubic hair can make things look larger. It's all about contrast and visibility. Again, this doesn't change actual size, but it changes perception. Number 4, work on your mental health. If you're spiraling with anxiety about size, that anxiety will affect your performance way more than your actual measurements. Performance anxiety can cause erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, and generally make sex stressful instead of fun. Talk to a therapist if this is consuming your thoughts. Seriously, this is what they're there for. Number 5, learn actual technique. You know what makes you better in bed? Learning how bodies work, communication, paying attention, not being a selfish lover. Most sexual satisfaction for women comes from clitoral stimulation, not penetration. Learn to use your hands and mouth. Ask what feels good. Be present. These things matter infinitely more than an extra inch. Let's talk about why this matters so much to so many guys. Because logically, we all know that obsessing over penis size is kind of ridiculous. But emotionally, it hits different. Masculinity, in many cultures, gets tied up with sexual performance and physical attributes. Bigger, supposedly, equals more masculine, more powerful, more worthy. This is reinforced everywhere. Movies, porn, locker room jokes, advertising. The message is constant. Bigger is better. And if you're not big, you're less than. And then there's the comparison trap. You see other guys, in porn, in changing rooms, wherever, and you assume you're smaller or less adequate. Here's what you're forgetting. You see yourself from the worst possible angle looking down. You see other guys from angles that make them look bigger. It's literally perspective. Also, flaccid size has almost no correlation with erect size. Growers and showers are real. Some guys barely change, some guys double in size. The comparison is meaningless. And porn? Stop comparing yourself to porn. Those guys are selected for size the same way basketball players are selected for height. It's literally their job qualification. Here's my point. If this anxiety is eating you up, that's the real problem, not your size, the anxiety itself. You could have the statistically perfect penis and still feel inadequate if you're stuck in that mental loop. So the work isn't about changing your body. It's about changing your relationship with your body. So, let's wrap this up. Does masturbation affect penis size? No, it doesn't. Can you make your penis bigger as an adult? Not really, not safely, not in any meaningful way. Does any of this actually matter as much as you think? Definitely not. Look, I get it. It's easy for me to sit here and say, just be confident when you're dealing with real insecurity. But here's what I want you to take away from this. You're not broken, you're not inadequate, you're not less of a man. The anxiety you're feeling is based on unrealistic standards, bad information, and an industry that profits from your insecurity. The best thing you can do? Stop Googling how to make my penis bigger at 2 a.m. Stop clicking on ads for miracle pills. Stop measuring yourself against porn stars. Focus on things that actually matter. Your health, your relationships, your communication skills, your mental well-being. Be a good partner. Be attentive. Be present. Learn how to actually please someone. Those things will make you infinitely more successful than an extra inch ever would. All right, that's everything I've got on this topic. If this video helped you, or if you're just glad someone finally talked about this honestly, hit that subscribe button. Real Bro Science is all about taking the awkward questions, the embarrassing searches, the stuff guys worry about in silence, and giving you actual answers. No scams, no shame, just science. Drop a comment if you have questions. And yes, I read them. And no, I won't judge you.